Pouncer the Cat coming to live from South Carolina. Well, Pouncer's had a good day. He played a lot. See, now I thought that I had. Well, this is boring, but I thought that I had five. I made 5 giant bags of food for you. I did. So I went to get a bag out to de-thaw it. So I make him that grind, and there was nothing left. So we have this dilemma. I have all this food in the back for him, tons of food for the baby, but I'm gonna have to make it. But I also want to take him out to play. Now he knows that when he's in the car, it's like playtime. So I just don't know what we're gonna do. I guess I can make his food tomorrow, take him out to play now, but he'd have to have a slightly smaller breakfast, which is okay because I can make it in the morning. But who wants to wake up that early to make food? I'll do it tonight. All right. So you know what? Let's just do both. Let me tell you. Pat, we're gonna go play in a park. Then I'm gonna make you food. We're gonna have a long night. We're gonna have a long night, but it should be nice. Spend some time with the baby. So he's been going to a different church every day because turns out the churches around here, they have a lot of property and it's private. So like the cars driving by, they don't all see you, and that's good. I have paper towel in my hands that he wants to eat. No, he's got a little bit of an addiction to paper towels. So we went to a Presbyterian church and a Catholic church and a Baptist church. We went to a Jewish temple. They're all very nice. And last night, I posted this. I didn't have a video of the really good part. Where it's 2 a.m. and we're in this church. I think it's called the Church of Ebenezer. Or Ebenezer. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And it was, it's 2 a.m. and Pouncer takes me to like this door, and there's a window, and then inside there was a guy. I couldn't believe it at 2 a.m. in a church. I thought maybe it'd be a church mouse for Pouncer, but no, it was a person, which is so weird. I mean, the place is totally deserted. I couldn't believe there was someone in there, but he knew. He knows where like things are. And then I think he found Bigfoot. There was a sound in the woods. At first, he was listening to it, but then eventually I was able to hear it too. And there were like footsteps. I didn't know what it was. And Pounce was just staring at it, and I was like, bro, maybe it's Bigfoot. So, look, it's as close as anyone's ever come to seeing them, right? So maybe Pouncer found Bigfoot. But it was nice, and then they have these open fields, which is funny though, because, Pouncer likes, is covering his face. Pouncer likes trails more than open fields. When he gets to an open field, he just stares at it for a while. And then, yeah, you do. And then maybe he'll walk like in the corner and look for bugs. But he doesn't really like walk on it. It's a funny thing. But what Pouncer loves, and this is weird, because he's scared of most people. They bond with one person. He's scared of most cars. He's very scared of the leaf blower. He doesn't like garbage man. He hates police. I don't know what that's about, but he really hates police. I'm telling you, he hates police. Watch the videos. But he loves trains. So I've been taking him to see trains, and when there's a train, he just gets out and he sits there and he stares at it and wags his tail. So go figure. So before we go to the park, I take him to the train station and he looks at the trains. He has a very good time. Then there's this one church. Was it a church? Oh, there's one like place across the street from a church where there's a train track, and there's lots of them. And so when they come by, he runs with them, and it makes me run with them too. So whether I like it or not, it's getting me in shape. And it's fun, because I love seeing him happy. Pouncer, we have a few different places. We have places in North Carolina, and he's got his own trailer, and that's just for play. And outdoors is the largest enclosure in the country for servals. But sometimes Swaggers is there too, so I have to switch one with the other because they can't be together. Because Swaggers just, well, you know how Swaggers is. So then we have another place in Alabama. We have another place in North Carolina, but we just rented that out. So, he's been traveling around and playing in different places, but um, we try to usually stay here in South Carolina and go out. He's got an enclosure here too, but I try to take him out to see different places and get him to run and play because they need that. But you know, all cats don't even look at it. I'm holding the paper towel. I want to put it in the back. All cats don't think about it. Look over here. Look over here. Okay. I can tell you're thinking about it. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, he's been doing a little bit better with people. Our next door neighbor, Andre, loves Pouncer. When Pouncer was an itty bitty baby, I mean, he's only 19 weeks now, but when he was tiny, Andre would he would hold you and hug you and kiss you, and you were so good. You seriously nodding off in my face, man. All right. And, as they get bigger, they sort of get away from that. So, Andre's been taking out some toys. Now, this is speaking Pounce's language. So, suddenly they're getting along a lot better, which is nice to see. He's been, well, better. Not a lot better, but you're getting better. Now, with girls, he's not doing so good, He's a little bit misogynistic. I had someone stay over. One of my friends stayed for the weekend, and Pouncer was so scared of her. It's not like he would hurt them. He's scared of them. And he hid under the bed for 2 days. Yeah, you did, you big baby. And we tried everything. We tried everything to get you to be nice. But you were so scared. I'll boop the snoot. I'll boop your snoot like that. Don't even think about that. Stop thinking about it. Much better. I see you coming. Good boy. Oh, you're gonna get in trouble, bro. You want that? You want trouble? So he just hid. And then every once in a while, man, he hid and he was like frozen under the bed, right? Then we would go out somewhere, like whatever, the mall or something, come back, and he was still under the bed hiding. Oh, such a coward. So she tried everything, but you just weren't very nice. But I get it. I get you. You're scared. Look, I'm scared of women too sometimes. I can feel where you're coming from. But then that was like an extreme reaction. That was pretty extreme. And she loves you. She's so nice. What's up with that, Pouncer? What's up with that? So, Danica, how are you? Those big ears hear everything. Look at those satellite dishes he's got. Pouncer, you got big ears. That's why I love you. Because you got big ears. Oh, we heard that. You heard that? Show off your ears. Today, I was in one room looking at the door, and I saw his shadow. And he had ears that looked like Batman, but 10 times bigger. Yes, you have beautiful big ears. Oh, I'll boop the snoot. I'll boop your snoot. Don't do that. All right? Don't do it. Don't do it. See, now he knows at home I'll take his toys away for 20 minutes. He'll go, that's a timeout. Here, there's no toys to take away. So he's a wise guy. You're being a wise guy. I don't know why you're scared of girls, man. I don't get that. Then there's Chastity, who I try to post sometimes, and she sings to you. She's so nice to you. She loves you. But Pouncer won't have any of it. I don't know. She sang you Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. She sang you the Sunshine Song, and you just yelled at her. You just yelled at her. So mean. Are you a mean cat? Are you a bad cat? Pouncer, are you sorry? The thing is, he's turning into his father. His father is Swaggers. Swaggers, well, if you don't know who Swaggers is, just look up Swaggers the cat anywhere. You'll see what the difference is between Swaggers and Pouncer. Pouncer's a very sweet kitty. You know, he's such a sweet baby. Swaggers was a dragon. Swaggers was insane as a baby, and he's even worse as an adult. You can't imagine. I just posted a video of me trying to give Swaggers a piece of turkey bacon. The moment he sees it, he swipes it out of my hand and he scratches me on the way. And then I yell at him, and then he hisses at me. You know, he's pissed at me. What happened to Swaggers? Swaggers, he is in Alabama making babies. He's Pouncer's dad. So he's got quite a life. He's in this giant thing outdoors, and he's got I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend. He's got a girl, baby mama, and he's making babies. But then on the weekends, well, every other weekend, I get him. So he comes over, and either I'll bring him to North Carolina or I'll bring him here. Then I got to put Pouncer in the outdoor enclosure. They can't be together. But he's the same old psychopath as always, man. Swaggers is just nuts. He's crazy. I asked the vet if it's possible Swaggers has like psychiatric issues, and she said he might. He might. It's hard to tell, she says, because all servals are a little crazy. But Swaggers is crazy even for a serval. Trust me, I work with many servals. We're at the supermarket. This is a place that's really good because they have like the old-fashioned style of meat, like chicken gizzards and hearts and all sorts of disgusting things that he loves, and that I have to put into his, no offense, that I got to put into his grind. So we come here, and you know, it's good because today was sort of an emergency. I ran out and I needed to pick up everything. So here we are. He wanted to come inside again, but I was afraid they were going to close. It's a really good place. This is like a special supermarket that has, you know, all that old-fashioned kind of meat, all the things that most people wouldn't eat today. But he loves it. If you see chicken lizards and chicken gizzards and chicken hearts, well, you say gross. You might even say it's gross to eat a mouse or a quail or a chick or a rat. To him, that's yummy stuff. Look at his ears. You see these white parts? That's so that if there's a predator behind him, they think it's eyes. Is that right, buddy? Did I get that right? I always wonder if he knows that. Do you know that? See, these are because, you know, you have eyes on your ears. You have beautiful ears, bro. I love your ears. My hand's been healing. See that? So much better. So much better. We've been working on that. A lot. A lot. So we've been modifying his behavior. It's my fault, though, because as a baby, you know how cats are when you tickle their belly. They just sort of scratch. And as a baby, I just let him get away with it, which is totally my fault. It's on me. But now we've been, you know, working on that. And I yell at him a little bit, boop his snoot. And then, most importantly, I'll give him a toy or a teddy bear to replace my hand. And that really is very helpful. That's the thing with cats, you know. It's like so often it's really not a question of yelling at them. It's a question of replacing one thing with another. Like if there's a cat and you open the door and the cat's always trying to get out, a lot of times they're just trying to look to see what's outside. If you built them, say, a perch so they could sit up, then when you open the door, you'll see the cat will stay inside. You know, don't think it's true of all cats, but most will. And they just want to see, and they'll look outside. I'm just saying that so much of it is replacement. So when he starts to go after my belly, I just give him his teddy bear, his donkey teddy bear, which he loves. Is Pouncer fixed? No, he's not. He's not, and neither am I. Neither is Swaggers. But you can't get him fixed till they're 8 months old. He's 19 weeks. But this is the age when he could have hold prey. Like I was saying, mice and rats and quick quail, chicks, ducks. Swaggers ate a swan, but I couldn't kill them. You get them from local farmers and they give them to you dead. But they need the feathers and the inner organs and all that stuff. And to be honest, that's the best meals for any cat. And excuse me. By the way, while I'm here, I have these 6 beautiful outdoor cats. They're not spayed or neutered, but I will help you with that. And they need homes. Watch my other videos, please. And Butler, my male cat, is pregnant. So I need someone to adopt Butler. We're in Florence, South Carolina, and to take care of the babies, or at least to help me, because in my house I got him, and there's like cobras and boom slangs and mambas. There's all sorts of snakes, and there's just no room. There's just no room for a cat having babies. So I need a little help with this one, you know. And everyone I know in South Carolina, they're all jujitsu people. And I asked everybody, but they can't do it. They all have good reasons. I know a lot of people. And every time I make a post, I don't even realize it, but I just take video of the cats eating, and I explain the situation. And Pouncer's always sitting there with me because he's on his leash. And what's very sad is that everybody always says, I want the cat on the leash. Everybody wants a purebred cat. I wouldn't do that. It's always better to take a cat that needs a home. These cats have all sorts of hardship. They're living outside in the rain, and now it's going to be hot. They're by themselves. I feed them, but before they were so hungry and thirsty, and it's dangerous. They get hit by cars. I have lost cats out there. They need homes. They deserve a home. So I never paid for a serval. Swaggers, I read his story, read the profile. I got Swaggers in Africa. I didn't know what he was. I just knew that they were going to kill him. And he was an itty bitty thing. So I just figured the cats there were sort of orangey and they had spots. I had no idea what he was. Then he grew and he grew and he grew. And I was like, what the hell? Then I realized what he was. People told me. And I took him back to New York, which was the whole thing. I had to get permits, and the vet was seeing him, and it was just a nightmare. So I get him back to New York, and it turns out that, what's on your head? They're not legal there. So we moved to North Carolina first. And, the saga continued. But now he's making babies. Thing is, I never wanted a purebred cat. I'm just saying, if you're gonna get a purebred cat, good for you. Get a purebred cat. I like them too, but also rescue one. Rescue one that whose life is in peril, because these are such sweet kitties, and I've worked with them so much. And you can pet them. They're so nice. Watch the videos. And I go outside every day and I go, babies! And they all come running. They're so cute, all wiggly with the ears up and the tails up, and they're so nice. And Pouncer sits there waiting for them. He loves them. But, I guess it was my fault for just putting Pouncer in the videos. I never thought that people would ask me if they could have Pouncer and then just ignore the other cats, which is somehow symbolic to me of how people treat them. Everyone says, oh, they'll be fine outside. They hunt mice. No, there's not enough mice for all of them, and I haven't seen a mouse outside ever, and they just don't have enough to eat, and they were so skinny. It's just terrible. Now they look okay, but it turns out that Butler, my male cat, that he's pregnant. I got to change his name, but going from Butler to what? Me doesn't sound very nice. So I need help. I hate asking for help. Hate. I'm using the word hate. But I don't know where to put these babies, I don't know what to do. And the cat sanctuary here, they don't like me too much. So they're not going to help. And I don't know what to do. So I'm running out of people to ask, even though I ask pretty much everyone I see. What do you got, buddy? What do you got, buddy? Crazy Pouncer. Crazy Pouncer. There was a dog here called a mountain cur. Beautiful dog. Um, Wearing all sorts of Trump paraphernalia. It was funny. But then Pouncer saw him. And, he's scared of dogs. He loves cats. You know how he is. But he's just scared of dogs. So my friend has a Chihuahua. We're gonna start with that. Trying to get him socialized. Hang on a second. So I'm trying to get him to do better with people. What's up, OMG? It's Jags. It's Pouncer. Say hi to OMG. Um, so we're working on his social skills. Thing is, you got to talk to them in their language. And what servals want to do, the only thing they want to do is play. That's what they do. They play. Right? Right now, he's just chilling because he's got no choice. He's in the car. Right? But they want to play. Does a Chihuahua like Taco Bell? I don't know, but I do. I do. Pouncer likes Taco Bell, but what Pouncer really likes is Arby's, don't you? Don't you? Yeah, he likes Arby's. He's good at Arby's. Yeah, sometimes he goes on the table and gets me in trouble. But he likes Arby's. Arby's is like one of the few places where he's chill. But I have to try to find a dog park. I don't know of any, but I'm gonna have to just Google one and see if I could take him. I haven't found any yet. We've been to pretty much every park in Florence. In Florence, South Carolina, uh, not the one in Colorado. In South Carolina, Florence, it's just beautiful, and they have so many parks, more than you would think. So I don't know. We've been to what, like 12 or something, and then there are places that are like parks. And then, I take him to all the religious institutions because he's on a spiritual journey. So I don't even know how many churches, temples. I took him to a mosque, but it's Ramadan. So it was pretty crowded and I don't want to scare him, but we're going to go back. So in Ramadan, you see in the mosque, they read the whole Quran. And it's a month long. So it takes a long time and people stay late. So it's a big holiday. And so there's all sorts of people coming in and out. They didn't really have that much land. So, I guess there's not many Muslim people here. So, he liked the temple. He loved the churches, all denominations. And he certainly loves the parks. The thing is, the parks aren't always well lit at night. But the churches are. That's why I take him so much. He also likes car dealerships, but above all, he just likes places near trains. That's Pouncer's thing, man. Outside of play, he loves trains. That's his hobby. He just sits there and stares at the trains and wags his tail. I don't get it. You would never think. I mean, why would he like trains? Cats are supposed to hate. What's up, B? Hey, say hi to B. Pouncer. Cats are supposed to hate machinery, but he likes trains. A message held for review. Those are always the best ones. He's getting so big. Why is that held for review? What's wrong with the word big? Patsy, you're getting big. Oh, here we go. It always says another moderator handled it, but we never have any other moderators. I don't get it. Probably likes watching them go. Yeah, but then you would think that he would like watching garbage trucks, and he hates garbage trucks. He doesn't like cars too much. He's definitely not a fan of motorcycles. But even if you go choo choo, he likes that. My girlfriend's cat, your mouse cursor. Then I bet that cat would like that light you shine, on the floor. They chase it around. He loves shoestrings, any kind of string, to a point. He likes strings and things like that, but He likes having a toy attached to the end, on a wand. And he has this old piece of shit toy that I don't know. I must have got for like $3. Yeah, the little red dot, the laser thing. And I've been. His dad is psychopathic. I've been looking everywhere, and I mean like on a quest. I've been, eBay and Amazon and all these other sites that people have been showing me, and Chewy, and Petland, and Petco, and PetSmart, and Pet Supplies, and no one, Walmart, no one has this piece of shit toy. I think it was a caterpillar at first. It's like a bunch of little balls connected, and it's made of a fabric that I don't know what to call. But so I guess I'm gonna have to go to Michael's and just make it and see how I do. Though I'm sure I'll mess it up, but I'll try. He always sleeps in the car. Garage sales. That's not a bad idea. He's never been fishing, but Swaggers has. Swaggers is such a nut, man. I took Swaggers out on a boat in the North Carolina place. We have a trailer that's just for them to play in. It's on a giant property on a lake, and Lake Mayo. And so I take Swaggers out on the boat, and out of nowhere, man, he just jumps out of the boat into the water. It was such a nightmare. It was such a terrible nightmare because he saw a fish, and Swaggers, he can't control his impulses. So if he wants something, he just does. He doesn't think about it. So I had to jump into the water, and it was such a pain in the ass, man. I had my clothes on. I was so uncomfortable, and it didn't even catch the fish. So put him back in the boat, and of course, he just lies on his back, puts his feet up, and goes to sleep. Swaggers has done the Swaggers like crappy. I don't know what that is. Swaggers has done some things that are just sociopathic, even for a serval. Things I won't even fully, things I will never fully tell anyone. Swaggers is completely insane. You don't know, man. I have scars all over my body from Swaggers, and when he comes over now, and always his whole life at 3:21 a.m., not 3:22, not 3:19. What's up, Astro MC 9583? At 3:21, Swaggers bites my ass, and I don't mean like he gives it a nibble. I mean he bites my ass to the point where I have scars all over it. It hurts so much. Now I'm a deep sleeper, so maybe that's why, but I think he takes a perverse pleasure out of it, and so yeah, he's saying it's time to get up. Yeah, that's it. He's got to play, but they're supposed to wake up like 5 a.m. and I can swear to God he does it just to torture me. And he knows, like that's when you're pretty much entering like the REM stage of sleep, when you're like the sleep, like you're in your deepest sleep. And it's like he likes to torture me. Then I'll turn around. And the other thing is, well, he knows that if he doesn't hurt me, maybe he knows if he doesn't hurt me, I'm probably not going to get up. Now Pouncer will come over and he'll like gently touch my face with his paw, and he's very sweet about it. And then he gets like arrancado. How do you say that? Like he gets like started up. I do snore. And then he wants to play, but he doesn't, kick my ass. Swaggers, man. One day I'll post my scars from Swaggers. He's like, well, this is like another person trying to bother my owner. Man, no one knows. No one knows what I've been through with Swaggers. Living together with him for 4 years, it's, to be honest, in many ways, it's an honor, and I love him to death. The store video was hilarious when he hits at the black lady, wasn't it? That was one of the funniest things. I can't believe I said that. I mean, I immediately regretted it once it came out of my mouth, but it was out, it was out there. And the look on her face was priceless. So, what are you going to do? I have trouble with impulse stemmed in. I also have trouble with, impulsive behavior like Swaggers, which is probably why we get along. No filters or fashion. Yeah, well, I've never had a filter, and God knows I've gotten in my share of trouble for it. But they say that, yeah, we are. They say that your pet will to a certain extent, act like you. And I have no doubt that's true. I think they also look like their owners, but I don't know if I'm as psychopathic as Swaggers, but there are things that we do have in common. By the way, do you guys like Pouncer's collar, or should I get him one with the marijuana leaves on it? Because they have that one available. They have a whole bunch of ones. They have the American flag. I'm from Spain originally. I want to get him a Spanish flag one. I can't find that. There's not that many. He likes the flames. Yeah, he's a flame cat. But it's hard to find one that's really funny. He wants me on camera, but he doesn't know where it is. He knows. Snakes and cats and most animals, they can see the infrared coming out of the camera. So I never really, no one, excuse me, ever really gets the best videos, you see, because they know they're being filmed, and they act differently because they're a little bit uncomfortable. You got a custom embroidered one online for my cat Max. What does it say? Maximilian. Oh, that's dope, man. I like that. So where do you get that on, like Amazon? Because I'd love to get his name. I'll get one for each of them. Virginia, MIGZ187. You're in Virginia? I used to work in Danville, Virginia. Where are your venomous snakes? They're in North Carolina, Alabama, another place in North Carolina, and I have some now here. And by the way, eBay. All right, I'll look once we're done here. So I guess what you tell them the size, and I checked Etsy. I didn't really see much. I'll check again. What was I going to tell you about the snakes? So I'm just starting to move them back. But what's funny is, like, all the haters, they're all hitting me up now. All the haters who were like, don't make videos, it's bad for the hobby. Now they're all hitting me up to make more videos. I don't understand it. Go figure. But everyone is worried about the ban in South Carolina. But the people I've spoken to, and I've spoken to some people that are up there, they say that, one, the governor hasn't approved it. They're not sure that he's going to. But more importantly, they don't have the money to enforce it. And this is not exactly a time when government is growing. I just want to always have breakaway collars. I don't know what that is. He should be wearing a harness, of course, because, their backs are much stronger than their necks on cats. But he had a little injury, and so the vet said, use the collar for a little while, it's fine, because he doesn't really pull on it. He's really very good on the leash. I could take the leash off, and he'll just stay. But, this is fine for now, but he has 7 harnesses. I still can't really find any cool ones. There's no real funny ones, and I've been looking a lot. So they won't hang off it if they climb a fence. That's a good idea. Me too, with the breakaway collar. Alright. Oh, thank you. I just learned something. Appreciate that. That's something Swaggers could use, man. I don't know if you realize how crazy Swaggers is. Like, if I take Swaggers, there's a park. Excuse me. There's a park that we go to. He sits back there, right? And I swear to God, he knows the route. So I take him to the park. He's pretty good. He'll just sit there. But you know how Swaggers is. Like, he's capable of anything at any time. He does love the car. But sometimes I'll try to trick him. I'll take him to the park because it's on the way to the vet. And then I'll go a different way and take him to the vet. He knows. I don't care what anyone says. He knows. And then he starts hitting me on the head. And it hurts, man. Like, he'll just start smashing my head in. And then I'm like, well, I should put you in the box. But, I put him in the box when we get to the vet, of course. But he just hates it. And he guilts me. And then he lies down and pretends to be good. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. It's amazing how many spots Pouncer has compared to Swagger. Swagger's has like half spots, half stripes, right? It's weird. But his mom has a lot of spots. Yeah, Pouncer knows every day at a certain time that we're gonna feed the babies, and then he's gonna come in the car, and he's gonna sleep, and then we're gonna go to a park, even though we already did it during the daytime, after he plays in his enclosure or what, and then good night B, and then we're gonna go out at night and play, and then go to a different place. But lately, the problem is that like we could be at a park or whatever for like 4 hours, and I'll bring him inside, and then he goes inside the car, and he goes nuts, man. He hates leaving, and I tell him I'm gonna take you somewhere else now. It's like he's exhausting, but he needs that. He needs to play and to run. So I try to encourage him to run even when he's tired, and look, it's getting me in shape too. But he's so crazy when he gets back to the car. He's so hyperstimulated that nothing calms him down. So I try to sing to him. I talk to him, but it takes like 20 minutes, and then finally he'll calm down, especially when we get away from the park, and then we go somewhere else, and then the same thing happens. So, if I ever really need him to calm down in between, if he really doesn't calm down, I'll take him to see some trains, and that's when he just sits and stares at them and wags his tail, and that, believe it or not, calms him down. I'll never understand that. It's funny the things they like, especially this one. Swaggers, don't ask what Swaggers does by trains. He's crazy. 1 second. I'm so thirsty. He's been making me lose weight with all this running. And the thing is with him, when it comes to running, like you run and it's all good. He's faster than me now. When he was a baby, I was much faster. But now he runs, he's on the leash, and then boom, he just stops. Because that's what they do in the hunting. They sprint. They don't keep running. They're not like cheetahs. They're more like leopards. So bang, he'll stop, and I could swear he's trying to trip me. And then he laughs. He looks at me like, ha ha ha. And then that happens over and over. So it's hard to stop on a dime, man. To him, it's easy. But people think like, oh, the leash got tied and he had to stop. No, 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 no. He'll do it without the leash. There's one place where we go where I do take the leash off. It's like completely enclosed and it can't go anywhere. And he stays right by me, and we do the same thing. He runs, and I chase him, then boom, he stops. I don't know. They all take this perverse pleasure in just sort of torturing me. What is that? I do think his inner swaggers is coming out, though. I do. He's not as bad yet, but he's getting there. I remember Swaggers at this age was just lying down one day in a room. This was in like one of the old houses. Like we sold it. It was made of cement. It was dope for a serval. It was like really serval proof. So I bought it thinking it would be good for him. Alright. But I hated it. So it was just temporary, but I figured why not make some money from it. Whatever. So we're in the bedroom, and Swaggers was lying there, and he got bored. You could see he's like, ho hum. So I have it on video. So he gets up and slowly walks over to me, and then bites the hell out of my leg, and then he goes back and he lies down again, taking this strange sadistic pleasure in biting me. Imagine living with that for 4 years. Now, the truth is, when we lived there in that cement place, he was crazier than his normal crazy. So we moved, and I bought that trailer in the woods for him, right? And it's very peaceful, it's very calm. And when we got there, to be honest, Swaggers was a whole different cat. He was very chill. I couldn't believe it. Not that he's chill, but comparatively, he was very chill, and he would stay on the bed with me, which is something he would never do, and he was lying down much more, and he started to bite me a little bit less, and, I realized that it was his hearing, because they hear so well, and there were trucks passing by that place, and that hurt his ears. He didn't like that. So when I took him to the woods and it was more peaceful, he chilled out more. I honestly, I didn't know, of course. So I learned a big lesson. Sometimes you learn as you go. It's not the kind of thing someone can teach you. Excuse me. I drink this energy drink, and I love it because it keeps me up all night. I gotta run. I drink it before jujitsu also. And look, I'm like 200 years old, so it helps. Let's do another one. Let's make another one. Pouncer normally is not food aggressive. Hold on. At all, right? But I'm gonna have to do this for a second. But yesterday, I'm making this food. I'm putting this food in his bowl in the kitchen, and I put the bowl on top of the stove. So I'm putting the food in the bowl. I wanted to move it to the living room where he always eats. You've seen that, right? In his bowl, it says "Good Kitty," and I thought he was gonna kill me, man. He pulled a real swaggers, and he's hissing, and he's cursing, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? This is not who you are. You don't have to imitate swaggers because sometimes I could swear, like, even though they're not together, it's hard to explain, but there's these rooms. There's like a room where they can see each other. Like, how do I put a room where Pouncer is inside, and there's a door, and he'll look out the door and he'll see swaggers, or vice versa. Because that's where I have like the whole obstacle course where they can play. I gotta post that more. So then he starts. Hold on. Then that's when Pound starts to imitate him. Because, Swaggers is such a dick. And then Pouncer starts doing the things that he does, like with the food aggression. So, like, what are you supposed to do, man? He's a bad influence. And Pouncer's at an impressionable age, and I know you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Like, what other cat is he going to copy? All right? Swaggers is the only other serval he sees for the most part. But Swaggers has seen many servals because I take Swaggers to the zoo, and they all know him, and they give him, like, it's so funny. They don't charge him, but they give him like when you go to the zoo, they give you like a thing, like a thing to wear, a bracelet. Well, they give him like a little necklace, and it looks like he's an employee. And then we go to see the servals. This is in North Carolina, in Burlington, and he sits there and he looks at the servals. There's like 20 or 30, and he thinks he's their king, like he's the supervisor. So he sits there and he watches them. So this kid comes by, and Swagger thinks he's king of the world. Kid comes by, he's eating a hot dog with relish. Swagger rips it out of his hand and just ate the whole thing. So that sucked. And then I had to buy the kid more food, and they blame me for his french fries spilling, which, well, I guess they were right about that. So he's always doing something terrible. But he's done some real terrible things. Like in the pet shop with that parrot, that was the worst day ever. But honestly, that really wasn't his fault or my fault. This friend of mine, excuse me, um, he owns what's mostly a parrot shop, but he has other animals. Let's just call it a pet shop, right? So we go there, and he says, well, first he calls me and he says, look, this little girl's birthday party. Would you bring Swaggers? Because she would love it. It would be nice. So, this is for free. I'm just doing this to be nice because it's little girl's birthday. So I bring Swaggers, and so I give it to the guy. I said, look, could you just hold this leash for me? Because I want to go to the back and buy him a ball. All right, so the little girl, her friends, they're at a party in like a room that doesn't have, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a room that's separate from where the things are in the back, like the toys and fish tanks and whatever. So I said, look, just don't share the leash. You hold the leash, don't give it to anybody. So I go in the back, I get the bowl, maybe, I'm looking around maybe for 5, 7 minutes, whatever. I hear a scream, a parrot scream. And I come back and, Swaggers, of course, killed the parrot and he's starting to eat it. And it was like a $4,000 parrot. And the reason was that the guy gave the leash to the little girl who was 3. And he told me that he said to her, you could just hold it for a second. And I said, I told you not to do that. And he said, it was just for a second because she's the birthday girl. I was like, bro, that sounds nice and everything, but that's so irresponsible. You got to be kidding me. So then he wanted me to pay for the parrot. And I was like, dude, I came here, just to be nice. And, he would never have eaten the parrot if he was on the leash with me. Of course not. And he wouldn't have done it if he was on a leash with you. So, long story short, I wound up giving him $1,500 and called it a day. And I never went back there after, because I did that just to sort of mollify him. Man, I wish I hadn't done that. I really don't think we were wrong at all. But he was just so upset, and I get it. He raised the parrot since it was born, and I felt bad. Don't get me wrong, man. I felt really bad. But why couldn't he eat a parakeet? They're like $20. If he ate a parakeet, it would have been so much easier. But no, he had to eat the expensive parrot. So after that, the guy took the leash and gave it back to me, and he's like, never come back here. And I said, I don't really feel particularly tempted to come back here at this point. I was doing him a favor, and, more importantly, doing a favor to the little kid. Look, and I never met this little kid. So maybe next time he could just have them pet his ferrets and hamsters and shit, because that was a bad day. It was a really bad day. Then Swaggers, oh man, this is really bad. He learned to open the door. Like, he learned to press the button here to open the door. So, I don't even want to tell that story, man. That has another crazy ending, but I'll tell you this. He opened the door, went into a restaurant, did something terrible, and then he came back to the car with the thing he stole, and it was in a Japanese restaurant, and he snuck in, and I know exactly how he did it. He went like under people's legs. They didn't see him, and yeah, I'll tell you this part. He took the, one of the Japanese restaurants where they have the raw chicken and they cook a few. He took the chicken, and then he comes back to the car, right? Because he leaves the door open. Now, I am in this place like 7-Eleven buying, I don't know what it was, some sort of something for me. I don't remember what. And so I come back, and I see Swaggers eating raw chicken in the car. And I couldn't figure it. I really couldn't figure it. So it turns out my brother in Florida, where we sometimes go, he either he taught him or he learned in his truck. I don't know. I really hope he didn't teach him, because that'd be the stupidest thing a person can do. So there was that. Then I look out the window, and there's this guy holding a cleaver, and he's running to the car. So, this is YouTube. So my first instinct was to grab my you-know-what and point it at his head and end the whole thing right there, because I had no idea who he was. He's in white. He's carrying like a meat cleaver, and he's running at us. Like, what would you do? But he turned out to be the chef in the place, and he's like, thief, 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 with the thick accent. And, I really didn't know where he got it from. So he's yelling at me, and he's yelling at Swaggers, and meanwhile, Swaggers is just like chilling in the back, eating his chicken. So again, that wound up costing me a fortune, because I had to pay for the chicken, but then he said the customers left and I had to pay for them. Cyrus has done a lot of terrible shit. You don't know. And these are examples that I can mention. But he's done some other things that are just terrible. Just terrible things that have affected me and they'll affect me for my whole life. Because there's something wrong with him. But Pouncer, thank God, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. You know, Swaggles will let me pet him from behind, but he would never let me pet him from in front. He would rip my hand off. He hates that. He's always hated that. Even when he was tiny, he hated that. But Pouncer always loved it. So they're night and day, really. Pouncer could be a little bit spicy, but it's nothing because he doesn't follow through. He'll never bite anyone. He never has. But Swaggers, he's not playing. It's like the difference between a monocle cobra and a forest cobra. Monocle cobra can bite, but they'll fake, they'll hiss, they hood, they headbutt. Then they might bite if they're really pushed. But a forest cobra will just bite with his mouth open, and that's what Swaggers is. He's crazy. He's like my forest cobra Mayhem, that crazy one. So, and in regards to the snakes, since everyone keeps asking me, there will never come a time when I will give up snakes, And I don't care what these dumbass people say. For 45 years, I'm handling more snakes than anyone out there, and there are so many people worldwide copying what they think I was doing. They're doing this now everywhere. There's so many more people that are holding cobras, and I never said to stick your hand in a cage and take out a venomous snake and hold it once in a while. I never said that. That was not what I was doing. I have a whole method, and it's a systematic approach, and you have to do it every single day with every single snake, and it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of effort, and I've done it my whole life. And so I got bit once by the inland taipan, of course. Everyone knows that. But that doesn't detract from the other 45 years, and I really don't give a shit what they say. So I've taken the time to raise Pouncer because there's a limited amount of time, there's a limited window during which you have to bond with a serval, or it'll be, your life will be just a disgusting abyss. It'll be a nightmare, a living hell. So I've done that, and he's so big now, but in a week or two, I'm going to get back to the snakes, and I have gotten so many more snakes. I don't know why, but people everywhere have been giving me hordes of snakes, especially cobras, and I can't tell you how many there are, to the point where I can't take any more, because I can't take care of them properly. And right now, the majority are in Alabama. No, the rattlesnakes are in Alabama because the cobras aren't legal. The cobras and the mambas and boomslangs and the other lapids, they're in one of the North Carolina places, and I have people taking care of them, but they're not able to, take them out and work with them daily, like I was saying. So I'm gonna have to, get back to that soon. So we're gonna start going to North Carolina, then we're gonna bring them to South Carolina, and I'm pretty confident that ban will never happen. There are some real scumbags out there who, they kept saying they wanted me to die when I got bit because, I deprived them of their expertise. The things I was doing were things that they could never do, things they never saw, because I didn't post anything for 40-something years. Well, not that the internet existed that long, but I didn't start posting until like 2 or 3 years ago. And so suddenly, there's this guy who's doing things so differently, things they would never have done, with a totally different approach to everything. And so they couldn't take it because, they wanted to be experts. That's the thing with the venomous community. They're all just a bunch of arrogant and vile, disgusting people, the majority. And I mean, just look how they reacted. Like, I got bit on purpose, it's incredible. And trying to deprive me of anti-venom, even though we had it anyway. Their whole attitude is just disgusting. So Why would I listen to them? These are people that couldn't possibly do what I do. And, I've changed, the truth is, I've changed the way people handle these snakes and their perception of venomous snakes worldwide because they were so scared of them and everyone was using hooks. And now they're starting to hold them with their hands. But I am not proud of that because they're not doing what I was doing and they are putting themselves in danger. And it seems like there's nothing I can say right now at this point, but I do think that they'll listen more once I start posting again with snakes. But they're not doing what I was doing. I mean, I was having like 4 boom slangs in one hand and then 3 cobras in the other. Just watch the videos and go to the, what do you call it, the video archive, what do they call it, the playlist, and go to Swaggers the Cat Reptiles, and you'll see. But the point wasn't to show off. It was never the point. It was to show that you can form a real bond with these animals and that they're totally chill as long as you're totally chill. Once you're scared, then they will bite you. They're going to reflect back your fear. And, these guys are all scared. They're all scared of their own snakes. I don't care what they say. The ones that are holding them are trying to be cool. And you could see how scared they are. Like, what's the point of that? If you're not trying to form a bond with the animal, what are you doing? Like, what is that for? Just views? I want views. I want clicks, even though that doesn't really make you money. What makes you money is watch time. But I'm the only one that admits that. They can't even admit that. But I wasn't doing it for views. And, they all say that, but they don't know me. So, I was doing it to prove a point. They are doing it for views. I'm talking about worldwide. You should see how many more. I wish there was a way of measuring this. You should see how common it is. Just look at my chat group, Venomous Snakes Classify, and you'll see there are so many people trying to do what I was doing, and I can't wait to come back and clean the whole thing up. But isn't it interesting? They waited till I was bit, and then I stopped posting because I was raising Pouncer. So now they're posting all this stuff thinking that they're me, and they're not. They're really not. And without me, these people are nothing because they have no one to really hate. So, the truth is they hate each other because they're just disgusting people. They are. Don't think that I'm just being mean to them. They are disgusting people that are, half of them are just on withdrawal. They're all a bunch of meth heads, just dirtbags, um, I'm really talking about like half of them, or maybe 40%. But, the squeaky wheel gets the most oil. These are the ones that are so vociferous. But the majority, despite what I said, the majority are really very nice. And, they send DMs wishing me well and telling me how much they learned from me. But it still worries me because even the nice ones, they're trying to imitate me, but they're not doing what I was doing. So I started like a little course online that you can get here. You just go and you buy it, and there were different levels to it, and I was teaching people how to do it. And I'm going to get back to that. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no other way. If you're just taking it out and holding it, well, good for you. But you're taking a tremendous risk, and who am I to tell people what to do? And who the hell are they to tell me what to do? To each his own. I wish that we could all just respect each other. But I can't respect people who are still posting and sending me way more than 1,000 messages a day to this day telling me that they hope that I die. And they all say I have long-term renal damage, meaning to the kidneys, and they want me to be sick. They can't stand the fact that I'm okay. And they don't even understand how I got okay. They don't get it. They really don't. And there's a lot of scumbags out there making videos, and when they don't know something, they just make it up. And the same with the newspapers, and same with all the TV stations that put it on. All of them just make shit up. If they don't know, they make it up. And then, the next TV station or YouTube idiot, they'll get that information, not even think to verify it. Then they'll embellish upon it, adding their own lies, and so on and so on and so on. And then it gets to the point where it's so ridiculous. And I have no idea what they're talking about. The most basic things, like just where we live. And then there's, I guess, some prick made up some shit about swaggers being shot. I don't know who, but then that's going around. And um, even the states that we live in, and quotes that I've never said, and saying that I say to hold an inland taipan from the middle, which I've never ever said. I knew that I was fucking up. I knew that I didn't have that snake the way I should have, and I say it in the video. I wasn't guessing. They've never done this. None of them. Not one of them. So, and I have, but you know, fuck them. I never cared what they said. None of them. But I do care about the nuisance. And it's such an overwhelming nuisance. And then they tried to hurt me. They tried to call my job and get me fired. And they didn't care. I'm still working there. And they were wonderful, man. They came to the hospital. They were so supportive. And every one of them was. Every single one. And they did things for me that were favors that weren't even school related. Things that had to do with like forms and shit that I just needed help with. Because I would have been doing them anyway if I wasn't. Oh, Sam's around. If I wasn't sick. So they took care of me. And I told them what these people are about. And now Eric Good, the guy who made The Tiger King and Jim Crazy, he is apparently making a movie about venomous snakes. And it involves apparently Tom Crutchfield, who's a felon and a dirtbag who his whole life has been scamming people and lying and smuggling, and he's got a rap sheet the size of, Pouncer's tail. And so they're doing it on him. Apparently, it's going to be something very negative for the venomous community, if you want to call it a community, and everyone thinks I'm in it. And of course, I never said that. I said something else that was true. I never said I was going to be in that. But of course, that lie has been spread everywhere. So all the dumbass YouTubers who have no idea, and look, I'm a real reporter for the New York Times. They have no idea what they're doing. They just make shit up. My editors would fire me if I'd done shit like that. So this rumor is going around everywhere, along with all the other bullshit lies. So once again, fuck them. And in terms of any other productions, well, that's none of their goddamn business. So, they keep asking me when the Eric Good, whatever it is, documentary series is coming out, and I have absolutely no affiliation with that whatsoever. So they could think whatever they want, and most importantly, fuck them. They just make this shit up. So, more than being a misunderstanding, it's just, a malignment. And, I never cared what they thought in the first place. And I mean that. I'm not just saying it. It's important not to care. The people who care what other people think, these are the ones that are just copying other people's behavior and never get anywhere in life. And the reason that I've been successful is because I don't. The people that are so critical, they're all losers. Look what they're doing with their lives. Show me one person that's been saying that they want me to die and get bit again that is a good human being that has been successful in their life. Not one. Not one. So, and that includes the reporters from all the damn newspapers, none of the credible newspapers. Even, I mean, some of the major ones, like New York Magazine, it was better because they tried to do it by themselves without copying all the garbage. But even I don't do any interviews with any of them, but even they didn't call me. So the only ones that really tried to call me to get in touch were ABC, CBS, and NBC, which is funny, like the three big ones, or the three that used to be the real big ones. Interesting that they still have some, credibility, but the other ones didn't even try at all, except for the local newspaper. But I had no interest in talking with them because I don't trust them, and that would have been just fodder for all the other dumbasses that are out there making shit up. So, unfortunately, the local newspaper, any other ones, they just made shit up. They didn't have the accurate information. And you should see all the vile shit they say. And they interview people who are completely unqualified, like Viper Sleeper, who's just this old, disgusting, nasty prick who knows nothing about snakes and tries to pass himself off as an expert. Made a video saying how he supported the people that were withholding antivenom. This was antivenom we didn't even need. The doctors already had antivenom on the way. Who would do that? Who would do that? And then he says, give them good online reviews because they want me to die. This is not an exaggeration. Go look it up. So then the newspaper calls this piece of garbage and they ask him for a comment on me getting bit. This guy's never handled a snake in his life. The cages where he keeps his snakes are absolutely filthy and disgusting. He keeps a king cobra in a bird cage. The guy's just a piece of garbage. What a piece of work he is. And yet he has opinions on other people. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's ridiculous. His YouTube is Viper Keeper. He talks like this. He's just disgusting. And he says all these sexual things. I mean, I've said some dumb shit, but not like him, man. He's a real pervert. And he just, I don't want to repeat them, but he says some really disgusting things if you listen to him. So, these people are a dime a dozen, but, and they're still at it. They're still at it. And I still have all sorts of weirdos and feminists protesting against me. And, because people keep saying I'm a misogynist and, I don't give a fuck about that. But I do care when they're like right in front of my house. And of course, Pouncer decided to eat some of the blinds so they could actually like see in. And then there's all these petitions and bullshit. So, the most important thing again is fuck them. So, I've been protested against many times. And I hope that they stay pissed off forever. And the reality is that when I meet with these lawmakers, I tell them the truth. And it's not just lawmakers, it's other people that I haven't discussed. And I tell them, anyone that wants a fellow keeper, let's just use that word, to die from a snake bite, anyone that wants someone to die should never have a deadly animal. You see the problem with that? They're no way near responsible enough. So I will do everything I can to make damn sure that these people will never have a snake. And it's not that hard to enforce. Otherwise, I think that everything should be legal, but not for them. So I've been meeting with people and talking with them, and I'm talking about people that have real leverage, and they're listening. So we'll see what happens. But all these scumbags that make these bullshit videos, their day will come, and I'll never forget. So, I'll go after them forever, and so will my people. They don't realize just how many people there are. They don't realize, or the bad luck that they've been having isn't a coincidence. So it'll never end. It'll never end. When I was unconscious, they were all hot shots. Right? And then I see them in snake shows, and I look them right in the eye, and I approach them, and all these tough keyboard warriors suddenly are staring at the ground. Oh, what a bunch of punks, It's like, they're so full of shit. I have 6 black belts, and they're all legit. I'm not just saying that. I won the international championships in Kyokushin Karate, and I can prove it. And many other things, like the Pan Am Games and the World Games and the World Cup. And these people have never done anything, and they are threatening me. Is that a joke? And I very much exercise my Second Amendment rights, and I'm perfectly capable of defending myself. So these people that threaten me, if they think I'm going to take that seriously, it's such a joke. But what I will do is walk over and stare them in the eye and just watch them stare at the ground because, they're a bunch of punks, and that's just the reality. You should see them, man. You should see them. And then they'll act so sweet and nice. And how are you? And have you been feeling? Oh, God, they make me nauseous. So it'll never end. They keep coming after me, and I'll keep coming after them. But I have a fuck ton more people than they do. And the people that I have are completely loyal to me. They're not even loyal to each other. They're not even loyal to. They think they have followers, and many of their followers hate them and are with me. They just, again, the squeaky wheel gets the most noise, so they make me sick. Anyway, I have to go make Pouncer's food. So if you're a cat person just here to chill and watch Pouncer, I'm sorry you had to hear all that. If you're a cool venomous keeper, I'm sorry you had to hear all that. If you're one of the scumbags, fuck you. It'll never end. I'll come after you forever. And don't ever forget that. And it's not going to be me coming and beating you up. That's not who I am. You know, I'm extremely intelligent, far more than you, and you're looking at a very short-term route. I'm looking at this on a very long-term basis, and you have no idea what's going to happen to you. It won't be violent, but it'll be wonderful. It'll be far, far better. Just don't ever forget it. So, for all the cool people, sorry I had to hear that. And for the other ones, just remember, and I hope this sticks in your head and heart forever. Fuck you. All right, everyone have a nice night.